everyone, guess what? The third Global Empowerment Summit is coming in just a few months. Have you booked your seats yet? Have you? If you haven't, the time is now. Because remember, guys, opportunities don't just happen, do they? We need to create them. So level up right now, book your seats, and join me and the rest of the speakers. Come for the amazing content that is going to help you rise up and impact others. And stay for the amazing friendships you're going to make, the networks you're going to build, not just locally but globally. See you guys there. Bye.
Hello. Here we
Hello.
are. Hi, everyone. This is an amazing session that we will have with Jason. Jason, how are you before I play the main video?
Hello, Andrea. How are you? The amazing
I'm good.
Andrea Zapka, live in person.
And Jason, here you go. So nice to see you. And let's
Likewise.
play the countdown and then see you guys very, very soon.
Okay.
And this is it. We are here, and Jack is already here with us. Hi, Jack. Nice to have you here. It's great to be here again at the Global Empowerment Summit. Al is also here. Hi, Al. So nice to have you guys here. I like dedication. Jason, this session is yours.
Hi.
I will get you.
All right. Make it quick. Make it be gentle with me. Huh?
I will. No cross questions, but I really love the session title. We will get to it. But before we jump into your topic, tell us a little bit more about what did you do today? What was your breakfast? Was it a busy day or was it an easy day? Tell us a little bit about your day.
It was a pretty easy day. I started off in the morning having a simple breakfast with some of my team members when I got to the office. And then followed up with some paperwork and things like that. It's a bit of low season for us at the moment, so we have a bit of time to breathe and do some other stuff. We are just doing lots of proposals and presentation decks and things like that. So we have the luxury of having breakfast together. So that was all until till after lunch, and here we are now.
Nice. I will ask you like a question that I also want the audience to answer. What's your favorite fruit?
Favorite fruit? I would say longan.
Longan. Oh, I
know what
that.
Longan is?
Yes,
longan.
I really like it.
Yeah, very nice. But it's got to be cold. It's got to be in the fridge first, and then you have it. Absolute favorite.
This has mango. Okay, mango, longan.
That's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, I love the mango from Thailand and also from Malaysia. Those are the two places where pineapple, mango is just amazing. Good. So I see the people coming in and I already see them here. So let me just ask them something very silly so that they are warming up their fingers and they are actually just joining the conversation more. So I will put a very nice question, guys. So two of them. Please choose a question and then put it into the comments so that we can see you and your personality here coming out. Okay, so the first question, you have to sing a karaoke. What song do you pick? Jason, do you want to answer this question?
Karaoke? I'm sorry, but singing is one of the few things in the world that I absolutely can't do. There are two things. One is singing. The other one is something that you do really well, I hear, is dancing. So these two things, sorry, no, not for me.
Okay, then I get to the second question. Answer this one. What was your least favorite food as a child?
Me, yeah. Porridge
Porridge.
as a
Oh,
child,
okay.
but I love it now. I love it now. But
Jack is
when I
also
was
a you both.
yeah, when I was a child, no.
My forever breakfast. Thank you so much. So guys, keep it coming. What's your least favorite food as a child, and what would you sing if you would do a karaoke? I will leave it up here. But now we are starting our official topic with Jason, which is about stepping up to the plate, leverage, synergize, and trailblaze. You have to explain this. Tell us a little bit more. Why did you choose this
Yeah,
topic?
yeah. Well, it sounds a bit more serious than it really is. But okay. So anyway, I chose this topic because it's something deeply meaningful to me, particularly in the current phase of my life now as a business owner. And I've just stepped into a new season of my life now, only in the last couple of months, personally as well as career-wise, of course. So the last station I was lasted over a decade long, and I was attached to the Star Media Group, running all their exhibitions and events across the group. So whilst I was very grateful, still am, and blessed to have such an opportunity, I've always felt that that my destiny, I mean, if I can use that word, has always transcended merely just being an employee of an organization and having less creative and business control than I would have liked to over projects that I undertook at that time. There's always a set of corporate rules to follow and things like that. So there are things that I wanted to do, but my hands were tied. So now I'm able to do it, right? So obviously the pandemic put a damper to my plans somewhat, right? So, but
For all of us, right? Everyone
yeah,
had a
yeah,
plan.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Life
But
happened.
but towards the end of 2021, when things started to taper off, we were going slowly back into the endemic stage. So I thought that was the time, and I spoke to one of my partners, and I just sucked it up and took the plunge. So here we are, and barely a year on, and several very very exciting events later. I'm absolutely thrilled and happy that I actually took this step of faith. So now, looking forward, I have a relatively healthy number of potential projects on my plate. So I know my team and I are absolutely raring to go, and we are prepared to trailblaze our way forward. So we are very happy, and I'm very happy about how things are turning out for me. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
met your team. They are very dedicated, and they are looking up
yes,
to
they
you. So I
are.
really like
Yes, they
this
are.
kind of
Yeah, yeah.
dynamism and the connection between you and
Yeah,
your
yeah,
team.
yeah. I've always placed very high importance on people that I can connect with, rather than just looking just purely on their skills. Yeah,
Good. So let's
yeah.
take this separately because I'm still with your title. So,
Okay, okay. Sure, sure.
yeah, so stepping up to the plate, leverage. What is
Mm.
leverage? If you have to explain the leverage word in this title, what?
Leverage, very simple. Basically, it just means that you use whatever means and tools or people, not making use of them, but you cooperate, and you use whatever that's available out there. You help one another and to achieve whatever goals that you have. So I think we are not no man's an island, right? So we need each other. We need to help one another to achieve the goals, yeah, that we have
Okay,
set.
so leverage, connections,
Mm,
resources. It's kind of like heavily
everything. Yeah,
everything. All right,
yeah, yeah,
synergize, the next
yeah,
word.
yeah,
Tell us
yeah.
about synergize a little bit more.
Yeah. So it's almost the same as leverage, but basically, when you synergize with someone, it means that you have achieved, to me, a deeper connection with that person, or with that group, or with that organization. So much so that you both of you are able to bring whatever that you're trying to do to the next level. right? So things get better and better and better because both are benefiting from that symbiotic relationship that you guys are having together. So I think that's also very, very important.
And here comes my favorite word, the trailblaze.
Trailblazer.
Why
Yeah.
trailblaze? Why not thrive? Everyone is like, unleash your potential, thrive.
Yeah. Well, I threw that word in there, basically because obviously, doing what I'm doing now, if not now, if not in the near future, but somewhere down the road. Obviously, speaking of myself and my team and my company, we would definitely want to be at the forefront of what we are doing at the moment. So basically, that basically translates into trailblazing the path forward. Being right at the forefront and being there. So that's what I meant by trailblazing. Yeah.
Nice words. I really love the energy. It has a rhythm. So I love this, what you put together. That's a great tagline. And I know that you are in the event management industry. That is somewhat also how we connected, because we are in the same field, me on the
Yeah,
offline,
yeah, yeah.
online world, fashion world, just starting up with all these event production and more focused on the online one. But you are kind of like more focused on the physical event. So how was it for you? There was this 2 years of break and now everyone wants to go on events, or how is the
Not really.
now?
Yeah. So I mean, during that sort of 2 years of that C word, right? During that 2 years, obviously, it, in my opinion, it actually brought about some good because as like you see, look at where we are now. We are speaking to one another through a digital platform, right? So it has brought a lot of good in the sense that this digitalization, it has been during that time, it was force fed down our throat. So we had no choice, but we had to learn it and we had to embrace it and we had to adopt it. But now that we have, it's actually I view it as an advantage to even in my field of work in events, physical events. I think it's an advantage in the sense that we can actually make use of it and get the best of both worlds. So I have done several purely digital events during that period, and I've also done some hybrid events. And I think the way forward is that we should just make use of whatever advantages that we have gained during this time, all the learning that we have gotten, and just make use of it and just make the best of the advantages that we have. And things are looking up. Before the pandemic, in Malaysia alone, the business events industry brings in about 500,000 people, about 4 billion ringgit in direct expenditure, about close to 10 billion in impact to the economy. But during the pandemic, almost 90% lost in revenue, right?
Yes.
And over 30,000-40,000 people in this industry were badly affected in terms of their job. But now, if you read recently the MySep CEO Abdul Kani, he has mentioned from now till maybe by 2030, we are looking to attract close to 6 million people into the country and probably 40 billion in estimated economic impact just from the business events industry alone. So things are really looking up. So we are very positive and we are very
So we have a lot
excited.
of work to do.
Yeah, a lot of work, but it's good, right? Better than no work, right?
That's good. Let me just greet the audience one more time. So, hi,
Sure.
Elle. Hi, Lalita. Hi, Ivan. Hi. Also, I saw someone, Yuba is here. So, Yuba is also saying that the Synergize is one of the 7 habits of high performance people, said by Stephen Covey. Yes, it's part of that kind of coaching methodology. So, it's really good that you also have it in your sentence today. Getting back to the event industry, I think it's a very interesting time when a lot of people figuring out a way to renew their industry and renew how they are doing things. Like you said, you did hybrid events, you did in-person events, you did fully digital events. But what would you think? How would event look like in the future if there would be all these VR glasses and metaverse and going into digital spaces? Have you had some experience already like that?
I have some experience in that, but as I said earlier, I think the way forward, okay, if you ask me, in my opinion, physical events aren't going to go away completely anytime soon. But a marriage of these two worlds, digital and physical, is something that I think a lot of events and event organizers are going to embrace, and we will be using it very widely across a lot of events that are being held, not just in Malaysia but everywhere else in the world as well. So I think, yeah, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Things are looking up.
For event organizers, I have to say it's kind of like, yeah, we know that it's a kind of stressful, pushed situation that you are in when you are producing event. You have to be on time. You have to make sure everything is happening well. So
Right.
normally those people are looking to being in this industry. They need to be a bit more resourceful and a bit more resilient. But what else would be like a good skill for an event organizer or an event producer like you to be the best in the industry, for example?
Skill. Okay, like for example, just, I mean, I'm taking the example of my team, right? It's a small team. Most of them are still relatively young, but collectively, I think we have over a total of maybe more than 40 years collectively of in-depth events industry. So in terms of skill-wise, being able to know where to source for things that are needed for events and things like that, I think that's not the main what do you call, the most important thing, because to me skills, knowledge, all those can be trained, it can be learned, it can even be bought, so to say, right? But I think the most important thing is the character and the passion that you have for what you're doing. And if you have that, then I think you can go very far. You can be a leader in your industry. So, like, I mean, like what I just mentioned earlier, I mean, basically like my team, when I brought each and every one of them, I spent a long time actually speaking to one another, not interviewing them about what skills they have or what they can do or things like that, but basically just getting to know them and trying to gauge as much as possible how they are as a person and how they feel about what they're doing. So I think that's most important.
Yeah, that's really good approach to show them every part of the event organizing and then how the industry works, how they can work together, all the little things. If someone would like to start with a very small event, right, like a very very small event, maybe in a hotel, a retreat or something, how would you start with it? Because I always like to give some practical advice, like what is the first thing you do when you receive a request for an event?
The first thing, okay, practically, right? Practically, the first thing is to first ascertain the budget, right? So you need to know how much you have and what is expected. So you have to manage the expectations, whether it's for yourself or you're doing it for a client. So you have to know the resources that you have at hand and what is the expectations. Then once you have that, then you will just because we've done this, like speaking from my experience, we've done this for quite a number of years, right? So we would know exactly what are the next steps, like what we need to get hold of. We need to get the licensing, we need to get hold
Yes.
of the dates, we need to get hold of the venues, we need to get hold of who are the suppliers that can supply us with the things that we need to make it successful. But the most important thing to start with is the budget lah. The budget, you need to know how much you need, and then the expectations. Then the rest are just filling in the blanks. Is a no-brainer actually. Yeah.
So budget, okay.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough budget, where can event organizer gather some extra income, or just supporters, or there are a lot of people in the social enterprise industry who are watching us. So maybe it's a good tip for them, like where to start, how to start, what's the style, who can they approach?
We can first ask Andrea. Just kidding. No. There are many avenues in which you can actually try and get funds from. They are depending on what type of event that you are going to organize. Obviously, you would first want to go to organizations that are relevant to the event that you're having. You can look for sponsors. You can look for JV partners who wants to be a part of your event. And also you can actually also look into our government agencies. There are plenty of what do you call grants that are being given out for certain types of events. So if you just keep a lookout, run through a lot of these grants, the government agencies, there are plenty that you can do, but you need early planning for things like that, because the application process can take a while. Yeah.
I remember someone told me that watch out, once you start to get sponsors, then everything starts to be harder because you have to fill out all the papers, you have to really imply everything, you have to be like they want you to be, you have to present them as the way. So it puts some extra pressure on the organizer if you have
The
actually.
expectations. Yeah, so like I said earlier, managing expectations is very important. Yeah, so you got to spell, if possible, you have to spell out expectations right from the beginning. Yeah, otherwise you are halfway to being doomed to being stressed about the whole event. Yeah.
All right, let me ask the audience whether they have questions. So I just put up this. Please, guys, if you have any questions, then just let us know. And Jason, I know that he's happy to answer. So anything around event organizing, you can turn to him, and he will help you with. So just type it into the comments so that we can see it. The topic now is stepping up to the plate, leverage, synergize, and trailbase. This is what we are talking about for around 10 more minutes when someone else will join us in the studio for another interview. So guys, please just type those questions, and until they are coming in, I would like to ask one more, which is connecting to Alchan's comment, because Alchan was asking or writing, like, how about using talking avatars in front of digital screen like Zoom, StreamYard, instead of physical appearing? So this is something that is really showing and directing, pointing towards the future. And I have been into 3D designed rooms in Spatial, which is all about you walking around with an avatar, waving on people, knocking their back and talking. So what do you think? Like, you already thought that physical events will stay, but what are the crazy things that are coming up, like in the near future in event industry, physically?
Yeah, so I mean, as you mentioned, things like avatars, being in the metaverse and being in a virtual room and things like that, that has accelerated tremendously in the last 2.5 years, and it's still being used currently. And in this period of time, it has improved leaps and bounds. So it's gotten more and more interactive. The graphics are better. The interface is better. It's easier to use. So as I mentioned earlier, I think it will be something that can complement events, and definitely it's the way to go in the future. But but right at this point in time, my take about this sort of technology is that it's something that complements physical events and goes hand in hand together with it.
Thank you so much. And I would like to ask you one more thing. I see Stephen is already in the room, so I will bring him up very soon so that all the three of us can connect a little bit before the speech. So I just would like to ask one more thing, like for you, for Elementix, you are just on the industry, you just start to do your own events. What is next? Where can people see you? Where can people reach out to you? And what are the events that are coming up? I love your exciting projects coming up. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay. So we do have a lot of things in the pipeline that we are working on. Some of which are I should not expose yet. Exposed yet, but yeah, we have lots of exciting events coming up. We have a whole myriad of different types of events that are upcoming. We have events that are related to education that we are seriously working on, and all these will be launched next year. We have plenty of sporting activities, sporting events that we are doing. We have a run. I won't say which team that we are going to use yet, but it's going to be something that everyone will love, and it's something very, very exciting. And on top of that, we have other sporting events like golf tournaments. We have fashion shows. We have festivals coming up. So a lot on the way. So anyway, if anyone is interested to link up and see how we can work together, anyone who wants to leverage and synergize together with us and trailblaze together with us, so you can always look us up. I think later on we'll share my contacts and we can actually get together and see what we can do.
Yeah, the easiest way to connect to our speakers, guys, is just to go to globalempowermenthub.com and then you find the speaker page. And then when you scroll down and find Jason in the 110 names, then you have to check the LinkedIn link and you just click on it and send an invitation. Tell that, oh, Jason, I saw you at Andrea's Global Empowerment Summit and I would like to connect. I'm sure he will accept. So
yeah, or come to Tamas and have a cappuccino with Andrea and me sometimes.
Oh yes, there's an Italian area. We always go there to have a nice coffee. Oh, we have some questions. So I would just bring in Stephen just to be with us on the stage. But in the meantime, you can answer the question. Jason, in your opinion, which type of event is most engaging? Face-to-face?
From Yuva, yeah. Yes. So of course, to me, my passion has always been physical events. I've been doing this for more than a decade. And for me, obviously, face-to-face is always more engaging because we are humans, right? Human crave and need personal touch. So to me, I think that's way more engaging than solely being on in the digital world.
Yeah, I really love this. Actually, I love all of them because all of them has something very different, and all of them has its advantages, and it's good for one crowd, and then it's not good for the other crowd.
So we should make use of all of it. We should make use of all of it.
Yes. So Stephen is here. You are here. I will let you take it over for 1 minute because someone is at my door. I will put myself on mute. And guys, please entertain the audience for 2 minutes.
Wonderful, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hey, really good question in terms of what's the most engaging face-to-face, virtual, or hybrid. Really good insight, Jason. I think for me, it's really about what's the audience preference, right? If they want to be in an online space, but like, you know what, let's do face to face. Like, this doesn't really work. So I guess it's a lot more onto what the other party that we're engaging with, what's their preference and style, and do they want virtual or and always like what Andrea was saying, both has benefits, right?
Obviously,
But
like
one thing
myself. Go ahead.
Yeah, so one thing I really miss about is that human interaction, like what you mentioned, that that physical high five and physical hugs, and have that physical in-person interaction. That's absolutely nothing can replace that.
Yeah.
And you see, this is the advantage of the virtual stuff. I can go out and I can talk to people. I have people talking.
Absolutely, so good.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. So I will say goodbye to Jason. I'm really, really thankful for you. You were also helping with your team yesterday to handle the press at the actual physical launch of the summit. And I'm so happy that we worked together, first time ever. And I really had a good experience. We had many people there. And we had a gamified launch of the summit.
Absolutely. So and speaking on behalf of myself and my team, we would also like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be part of this year's Global Empowerment Summit. We have had a ball, and we are still having a ball doing it. And thanks everyone especially those that I met the other day at the networking session. So hope to catch up with all of you again very, very soon.
Yes, we will do that anyway. I'm planning to have an after party on the 27th of November, so we have to meet again.
Right. Okay, great. See you all.
Looks like I'm missing out, guys.
You can still fly here. It's not so far.
Maybe during Chinese New Year, right?
I'll give you a virtual high five.
That's it. Virtual high five for now. That's it.
So everyone is saying thank you. Jeg is saying thank you. Yuva is here also saying thank you. Achan was here. May was here. Thank you guys for watching Jason, and please feel free to reach out to him. You will find him on the speaker page, and build real connections. Right. So I'm happy to
take my leave now. Thank you, everybody.
See you, Jason.
All the best. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Enjoy, Jason.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Really good, Andrea. So good.
Yes, it's always amazing and always crazy in these virtual events. Anything can happen.
And one thing we pick up really well is the ability to have that agility, right? And that flexibility. Yeah,
Yeah, because before it was like, okay, I have to behave and I cannot stand up, but I'm like, yeah, why not? It's
it. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy to have you here, Stephen. I always start with a little bit of warm up before we introduce you. How was your day so far? You are in Australia. How is the weather? What is everything? How is everything there?
Well, everything is always amazing, right? Good days, bad days, those days in between is always good days, right? It's all about mindset, like right? We have been connected, how I operate. But if I look at weather right now, I know in Melbourne, in Australia right now, it's spring, but outside doesn't feel like spring, right? Outside feels like winter, like maybe not so cold, but it's wet, it's raining the whole time, and a couple of areas in Victoria, there's a bit of flood as well. So there's quite a bit of rain going on at the moment, and not the typical warm weather, sun shining kind of. Not yet.
But it's okay. Sometimes I'm okay with this because then it's not too hot. Then it's like you have a little bit of time to breathe, and it can be, especially when you are at home with a little coffee or tea.
That's it.
It can be a great event. So I heard that you are also meeting one of our other speakers, May, very, very soon. Have you met already, or will you meet very soon?
Yeah, she's May Cheng. She's from Sydney. So she's coming down to Melbourne, I think, in the next couple of weeks. So we have connected on LinkedIn for a number of times, and then for a while as well. But we haven't met, right? So to actually put to meet in person, right? Coming back to what we discussed on, right? In-person conversation and meeting, which is going to be amazing. I cannot wait. Really looking forward to it. So yeah, she's an amazing individual. Hey guys, if you have not met who May is or May Chang is, look her up on LinkedIn. She's an absolutely amazing individual. She's a ball of energy, right? Absolutely amazing.
True. pure
Yeah.
energy. I really love her personality, and yeah, it's just, you will see also online. She's like a storm, a good
That's
one,
it.
a good storm.
Yeah.
Hi, Stephen. Let's get to you. Tell us a little
Mm.
bit more about yourself, what you do, a little bit about where are you from, where did you grow up, and also about your business.
Yeah. I grew up in Rawang, right? Rawang, which is if some of you guys are in KL, you know where Rawang is. That's where I grew up, and I moved down to KL, when I was 12 years old, and then came to Australia, for my uni, and never left since then. So this is where home is for me in Melbourne. I've got my young family here. I just picked it up picked them up from school, in the rain, which is always fun. you know, with all the traffic and kids screaming and everything else, which is part of the fun thing. So and what I do right now is that it absolutely amazing because it gives me that flexibility to help to create impact on business. Here we go. So what I do is I help businesses to increase their profits. A lot of people businesses is all about increasing profits and getting more time back, right? But it's always the how part to help them increase their profits. Now, a lot of people out there, increase the profits by increasing sales, right? Or you need to increase more sales. You need to or reduce your sales to get more. Reduce your price to get more sales through, right? Or have more products in, right? But I do it differently. All right, I do it from a way of sustainability in terms of profitable growth, and that's through risk management, right? And that's something that I don't think that we have enough information out there in the market. I don't think that it's a very important topic that it doesn't have enough airtime at the moment.
Can you go into it a little bit, like what do you mean? Because I always like to set the definition straight first. So for a business person, an entrepreneur, what does risk management mean? What is inside? What do we have to be careful of?
Yeah, it always comes back down to our understanding of risk. So, right, to manage something, we need to understand what it is, right? So what risk is to manage the risk. Risk, if you put a definition, what risk is an exposure to danger, right? Risk in a definition is that I can give very simple form is the exposure to danger for your business, right? And I trust that the listeners are and the attendees are mostly business owners, right? So every business has risk, has a danger, right? The exposure, the level of exposure to danger, and how do you want to manage that level of exposure of danger for your business? Yeah, and that comes right down to what sort of danger that you are aware of and what sort of danger that you are not aware of. That's more important.
Tell us a little bit of examples, like what are the dangers that people can already see? What are those ones that are very visible and you can really take care of them very easily? You just have to recognize them.
Yeah, look, it depends on the type of business that you're in, right? So certain business will have a more specific risk in that sense. If I look at the risk that will be relevant for majority of the businesses, and I trust that it will be relevant for your attendees for your Global Empowerment Summit, is operational risk, right? Because when your business, you need to operate, right? What sort of
we are the only ones in the business, right? We are leading the business. So if I am getting, I don't know, closed in my room, I cannot go to work, then I have to manage this risk, right? Who will do the work?
So operational risk. How do you operate your business internally? What sort of a system that you have got? What sort of a structure that you have got to operate your business? So another type of risk will be financial risk. Because there's a financial element in there. Are you getting your revenue really well? Is there any leakage in your business, right? That will reduce your profit, reduce your revenue, right? That will increase your cost without knowing it. So there's always a financial element of risk into your business. System risk, right? If you got system that you use, when I say system, there's two parts. Number one is that the IT system that you use, right? If it breaks down, okay, what's your plan B? How do you stop it from, reduce the risk to breaking down? What sort of a plan B that you have got to, mitigate that risk? Another part is your structure that you have got, right? Your structure in terms of your business model, right? That's a system as well. What sort of risk that you have got there? If you got another risk I think of right now is if you have borrowings, right, to make an investment for your business, right? Borrowings will always come through an element of interest rate. So there's an interest rate risk for your business, right? Because if there's any movement in interest rate, that will impact your financials, right? How
What
can
are
you
the very hidden ones? I'm
Sorry?
also interested in the hidden ones. So now
The
these were
hidden ones.
some things that are like, okay, if you are a businessman, you may meet with this, you know about it, you manage it. But what are those ones that people don't think about and it just pops up and then causes a big problem? So what are those risks?
Yeah. Interest rate risk, credit risk. You know what? One of my, I was just having a chat with a business owner just a couple of days ago, right? And we were talking about this same topic, risk management. And I mentioned to him that, you know what, I think you have got staff risk in your business. And he turned around and said, hey, Stephen, what do you mean? I don't have staff members in my business. I work on my own, right? And then I mentioned to him that, yeah, you don't have staff that you hire, but you are a staff in your business. What happens when you are sick? What happens when you are ill? What happens when you are away from your business on holiday? The business stops, right? Or what happens when you remove yourself, right? So it's a risk in itself. Even though you don't have people that you hire, but you are also a staff in your business, and makes it a real high risk. Yeah. So it's all highly dependent, right? Key dependency on you as a risk factor, right? So there's a key dependency risk in there as well.
I think that's something very important because normally we don't really think about this part, right? We can think about everything around us, but normally we don't get back like, okay, what if it's me?
Yeah,
that's a very interesting point.
That's right.
When you are starting something like you are doing, like your client comes to you, okay, I have this problem, I would like to manage my risk, I would like to protect my business, I would like to grow better because I'm protecting my business. So where do you start? What do you do as a first step? You analyze, or what's the first step you do with your customers?
Really good question, Andrea. The first step is always understanding what sort of risk they have, right? Assess their risk in terms of, I call it the known risk and then the unknown risk, right? The known risk is what the risk that they're aware of, yeah? And also what sort of a risk they are not aware of. And that's where, I can bring in my expertise to highlight, to make them aware of some of the risks that they're not aware of, that they should be aware of and handle that, right? And also assess where those risks are at the moment. Yeah, and I do it very, very simple format, which is rate it from a scale of 1 to 10, right? 1 means like, what, we are good, right? I can sleep well at night, it's all fine and good. Yeah, 10 means it's critical, we have to solve it right now, right? So you get the span of that 1 to 10 and where they are in that scale, right? So and what sort of actions that you need to take. And
let's ask the audience. We have some people watching us. Let's ask the audience, like your scale. Yeah, maybe we can type in on a 1 to 10 scale. What would be the question? On a 1 to 10 scale, how risky your situation in business is, or your operations? Or we take out one part, maybe? Help me with formalizing the question.
Let's do it.
Okay, so what would be the best question to ask?
What's the best question to ask is that, what would be the top 3 risks that you're aware of in your business right now?
Okay,
right?
So guys, here is the question. Let's engage a little bit. Write in the top 3 risks that you have right now in your business. Type it into the comments so that we can see.
Am I able to see the comment as well?
Yes, you can see also
the comments. There we go.
Exactly, they are coming already. So
wow, okay.
Yes, please, guys, just write down the biggest three risks that you have right now in your business, according to you. So Elchan is saying forex risk. Yeah, it's an unforeseen. Yeah, it's something that can affect businesses. But
Yeah, forex risk, it is. If you have foreign exchange, yeah, absolutely. But some of the businesses are dealing locally. So yeah, that's a very specific risk. Absolutely.
Yeah, Jag is saying climate change. Yeah, actually, that's a risk for many businesses who are changing in the industry, agricultural industry, or anything that is affected by the environment. Keep it coming, guys. Okay, so until the answers are coming in, so we are searching for the three biggest risks that you have right now in your business until the questions are coming in. What are those things that people can do to avoid the risk and assess their risks?
What's the question again? So,
what are the things that people can do to assess their risks? How do they how are they able? How can they do? Like they sit down, they take out a paper, they write down.
Yes.
How should you start with assessing your own risk?
Like basically what you mentioned there. Basically, sit down and take a piece of paper and write down, okay, what are the top 3 or top 5 risks that you're aware of in the business, and rate that from a scale of 1 to 10 and where there are. And then here's the great value, right? Once you identify in that scale 1 to 10, whatever the number is, and then you ask yourself, what makes you think that the number is right? Why is it a 5? If you rate, say, what Chan was saying, forex risk, right? Forex risk, I put it a 5 out of 10. That's cool. Why would you rate 5 out of 10, not 6 out of 10? And why haven't you rated at a 4 out of 10? What's the basis of you putting at a 5 out of 10 and not higher and not lower, right? And through this reasoning that you go through, then you find out that, oh, you know what? I've been over generous in terms of rating that it should be a little bit lower, right? And that's the reason why, right? Or through that reasoning, then you find out, like, you know what? I've been really conservative. There are things that I haven't thought of initially, right? The real rating should be 6 or 7, not 5, for example. It should be a 7, right? And then, like, oh, you know what? Now I've got real information in front of me, right? At 7 out of 10, like, oh, hang on, it's quite high on the scale. Then
we have something from you. Sorry for always stopping you, but I like to interact with the people and to answer what they are writing, because then they feel that they're included in the conversation. So Yuba already wrote us 3 risks, if you can see it on the screen, and he also rated them. So if you can analyze and help him a little bit. And I also asked Dinesh in the same time, because Dinesh, you wrote us getting the clients, sustain the business, and how to get the future growth. So if you can do the same like Yuba, put the number from 1 to 10 next to your points, so that we can see. Let's start with you.
Yeah, Dinesh, I know Dinesh. He's absolutely amazing. So if you guys haven't connected with Dinesh yet on Facebook, and I'm not sure if he's on LinkedIn, but connect with Dinesh. He's absolutely amazing. Yeah, so Dinesh, rate it from a scale of 1 to 10 on your top 3 risks. Go back to Yuva. Client awareness 5-10, presence 3-10, competition 6-10, right? So client awareness. So you want to be more specific in terms of specifically what about the client awareness, right? Are they not getting awareness, or what sort of awareness that you're finding? The clarity is really important. And you mentioned about presence. What sort of presence that you're referring to, right, for your business? So I don't have that enough knowledge at the moment to understand your business perspective. And also competition, 6 out of 10. So I guess, 6 out of 10 competition is that the risk is high. So what are you doing to bring down that 6 out of 10 to 5 out of 10 to 4 out of 10, right? What sort of things that you can provide to reduce that risk of competition, right? Is competition a risk for you?
It's really nice. It's easy analysis, right? It's just you take these 3 points and you start to work on it. Like if you would demonstrate it with your own business, like right now you are in a different phase. Maybe you are in the growth phase. You are in the market for a longer time. So how would you for yourself, what advice would you give, and what would be those numbers, and what would be those 3 risks?
Yeah, look, the thing is there's no magical number, right? You want to make it something. Look, risk it has to be well managed. You got to take some risk as well for it to grow, right? And also at the same time, you want to reduce some risk as well to give you the capacity to take on more risk. So you got to look at it from a holistic perspective in terms of, okay, strategically, what am I going to increase on, and what am I going to reduce by design? Yeah. So when you have that list in front of you, your top 3 or top 5 or top 10, whatever it is, and then you identify, okay, these are 2 top risks that I need to focus on to reduce for me to actually increase some of the risk to help me to grow my business. Right. And that's highly dependent on the type of business and on type of growth phase and how aggressive you want to grow your business, and compared to your competition as well.
And it's very personal also, right? Because every client is different. You are coaching people, you are helping people. So I guess when they come to you, it's a very specific process that they are going through, right? Because they are all different. You cannot tell them the same recipe.
No, it's look, the thing is, it's not, right? Because everyone's journey, everyone's challenges, and everyone's growth journey is very different. So every conversation, every strategy is very bespoke. It's very targeted for their businesses because it's only relevant for their business, right? Because, so everyone's journey is different. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I really love the approach and how you explain it, and you make it very simple, so that people can really understand that it's not really a difficult thing. You take out the 3 biggest risks, and then you give them a rating, and then you work on them to be lower. It's the similar thing that we use for the Wheel of Life. That you have all these areas, you rate yourself, and then you check again, and wherever you are weaker, then you are working more, right?
100%.
It's a very easy thing to do. People think it's
easy thing is the best thing. No, it's not, right? Because once it's difficult, it actually prevents people from taking the action. When you make it simple and not easy but simple, then people think, okay, let's take 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward, and that's where the growth happens. That's where the progression happens. And it gives you that clarity that you need for you to grow your business. So you know where you want to focus your energy and time and effort on.
This is also something I think we can talk about, focusing the energies, because many of us, guilty,
Me
we
too.
are spending so much time on little things, perfecting, I don't know, a social media post or whatever, but then we are not as meticulous with other things, like really talking to clients and really focusing on things that are really bringing in money. So how do you do that for yourself? How do you recenter yourself and refocus yourself? Because your topic today is business protection for profitable growth. So we didn't talk about the profitable part.
Yeah. Look, really, the profitable part is when you're not having leakage in your process, right? That's where you can profitable, sustainable growth. You want to have profits of $10,000 say per month, right? You don't have that leakage, right? So and you can then keep that $10,000 every single month, and it compounds when you start investing that figure. So how do I recenter myself? It's really I do a lot of meditation, right? And when things get chaotic, right, I don't let it affect the way I do things. I take a step back, recenter, and ask myself this very simple question: for what purpose of that action? For what purpose I'm getting annoyed? For what purpose I'm getting angry, right? For what purpose I'm doing the action for, right? Once I have that clarity of the purpose I'm doing, then it recenters myself back into why I'm doing that piece of work.
That's really, really interesting, actually, that we need to get back to this kind of, everyone is rushing us. Internet is rushing us. The digitalization is rushing us. Social media is rushing us. Other people rushing. We have so much noise. So just as you said, meditation, sport, a little bit of break, a little bit putting away the phone, just like we talked about it with Cheryl. It just helps us to get back to the real reason why we are here, to be more purposeful and to build on that purpose instead of just rushing after something, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't operate well when I'm in a rush, right? I need to have that time as well, and I do have that a daily ritual, I call it, right? Where I take care of myself, getting my health and my mental health, my physical health as well in that shape that I need to be for me to operate at an optimum level, right? And doing that consistently every single day and every single month. So yeah, I think
Thank you for sharing that. I think this
You're
is
welcome.
something very important. I would really emphasize on that. And we have a very good question from Alchan. Let me just bring it up. So he says, do we need a legacy planning to protect our business? This is also something that not so many people are thinking about, right?
Do we need a legacy planning? Really good question, Aichan. Do we need a legacy planning to protect our business? It depends. What's the purpose of your business? Are you, in the intention of your business is that to sell in the next 2 years, 10 years, or are you going to leave that for your kids, right? If you're leaving it for your kids, you might want to have that. If you are thinking of selling the business, start having your business and to sell it off in the next 5 years, do you really need that legacy planning? Right? It all comes back down to what's the purpose of your business.
That's so true. It's really something that we have to always take into consideration, although we don't like to talk about it or just think about it. But that's also something that many people it just happened to them. And then a lot of things are like, imagine there are a lot of people who are losing their or not taking care of the legacy of their blockchain and Bitcoin accesses and codes and all this. And there were several stories when millions of dollars were lost because of this, because they didn't give it to their family. So no one could access those things. And it's a lot of money. So
it is
very important, right?
Very, very important. And that starts with the planning and having the intention from the get-go, right? And then you can start tracking and monitoring along the way.
Yeah, really, really true. Jagat is saying optimum level in health. That's also very important. Always take care of your health, right, Stephen? What do you do for your health besides meditation when it's about your own health?
Yeah, I cycle. I used to do dragon boat racing. That was before I have my kids. So, and that's absolutely wonderful. If you guys have a chance to try it out, I encourage you to try it out because it's really cool. And I think that in Malaysia as well, they have a dragon boat racing team in Putrajaya. Check it out if you have the time. So, that was 10 years ago. Now, go to the gym, cycle. Pretty much cycling and go to the gym. So, yeah.
That's great. That's great. I also like to do these things. And actually, I think you have a lot of very brave cyclists in Malaysia, I would say, because it's not the safest road here, right?
Oh, they are absolutely warriors, right? I know,
They have to fight all the bikers, all the cars, all the highways.
Yeah. And I can see the enthusiasm has, increased over the years in terms of cycling. And so which is really good.
Yeah, it's near to us. There is a heritage lane here on the road. Just at the starting of Chokit, and they have a artisan biker place, and they always come here in the morning, in the weekend, before or after they are going to race and having a coffee. And I always see bikers.
It's good. It's a good lifestyle to get away from screen and monitor and just get back to health and connect with people, because when you're riding you connect with people and also get in tune, right, to everyone else. So it's a great to get to log off from the internet world, to disconnect.
It's true. So Stephen, last question before we get basically the question is, how can people reach out to you? Where can people find more information about you? How can they connect with you, and how can they start something with you if you would like to really do something about your your risks? Like how can you reach out to Stephen? How can you reach you? How can people reach you?
best way is through LinkedIn, right? You look me up on LinkedIn, Stephen Su, or even on Facebook as well. Best way to reach out will be through social media. You can, that's where you can get access to the content that I share on a daily basis. Or visit my website, stephensucoaching.com as well, to get a bit more of what I provide. And, if you want to find out more about risk management or the system and structures that you can put in place, give me a call or send me a text or, drop me a note on social media as well. And then we can connect from there.
That's great. So which is the social media that you are using the most?
LinkedIn.
Okay, so Stephen, and in LinkedIn, please reach out to him. He's quite active. I saw your post. So please start to connect. The best way is always just to reach out and say, okay, I was here at the Global Empowerment Summit and I saw your conversation. I would like to talk about risk management. Thank you so much, Steve. And I love your energy. I love your positive vibes. And it's always good to talk to you. Everyone is saying hi to you. Oh, Jag is doing our job.
Wow, thank you. You are amazing. Now, is Jaga in Malaysia?
Yes, Jagatis is in Malaysia, and then she's one of the most interactive and positive and self-actualized person I ever know.
Amazing. And Jaga, is Jaga in KL as well?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Cool, amazing. So when I get to KL, I know that it will be very, very soon that I'm going to be in KL. We need to catch up over cup of teh tarik because one of the things I miss most is teh tarik. So we definitely
will do that. We will do that. She's in Damansara. So. we will go there.
It's not very far. Wonderful. Thank you, Jaga. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you guys for all the help. Aichen was also DMing you already. So
amazing.
You have someone reaching out to you.
Wonderful.
So thank you guys for being here. Thanks, Jack, for being active, and Yuba. And please reach out to Stephen. Stephen, what would be your message to the audience before we are taking off? What would be the one thing that people should check right now and check whether it's in order in regards to their businesses?
Well, there's a lot of things that they could check on. What would be one thing they need to check on in their business right now is that when was the last time that you did a business audit? When was the last time that you did an audit on your own business?
Let it sink.
Yeah, let it sit for a while, right? Yeah, you haven't done one, maybe it's the time to do one.
Yes, please, guys, try to do an audit. If you cannot manage it, then please reach out to Stephen. Let's make a deal. Okay.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Stephen, for being here. I really love the conversation. I see Tamas is coming in. So we have our next guest coming up soon. I will start the video, and after the video, I will be already with Tamas. Reach out to Stephen and have an amazing, amazing afternoon.
Bye.
Bye, Stephen. Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you guys.
Hello. As we lead up to the third Global Empowerment Summit, my name's Stephen Taylor, and I've been involved in each one. I'm looking forward to meeting more of you this year. It's all about learning, growing, sharing experiences as a collective, meeting people from all different continents from around the world, sharing experiences and understanding how we can grow together. So go ahead, grab your tickets, and I look forward to seeing you there.
And here we are, two Hungarians connecting through the internet.
Hello, everybody. Hello, yeah.
Nice to have you here, Tamas.
Thank you for the invitation.
It's beautiful weather. I'm just checking. My mom was saying it's a
No, it's not beautiful. That is typical autumn.
Yeah, I just see the leaves, but I'm missing the autumn, the beautiful brownish leaves. Maybe in Asia people don't know or haven't seen it. Please go to Europe and experience it. It's just a beautiful season of the year. Tamas, how have you been? How are you?
Thanks. Very well. Very well. Yeah.
It was a good day. It's now just morning for you.
Yeah, just a morning after the first coffee. I'm a coffee fan, so it's after this 5 or 6 coffee, it's much more better. But the day is coming. Yeah, I'm very exciting about that. That is the first semi-final will be in Kuala Lumpur, so I'm totally exciting to what happens tomorrow. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yes, I'm also looking forward. I'm like, I'm hoping that no one is chickening out. I don't know how was it for your competition, but this is the first time I'm part of the organizing and producing the event, and I'm kind of like looking out for emails. Will someone write me? I don't come. Coming, and whether they are ready or not. So I'm really, really happy to do this with you for the first time and see and grow from here. And I hope that in a few years' time, we can say that from a few participants, we really build up this event to a lot of participants and maybe even an incubator. So a lot of people are saying hi for you. Alchan is saying hello, fellow Hungarians. Lalita is saying hello, Tamas. And then
Hello, Lalita.
Facebook user is not showing your name. So if you want me to tell your name, then you have to write who you are.
Okay. Yes. A short summarize about me. What is my background? It's maybe it's useful to have why is the guy with mustache and beard to organize the women's startup competition. Actually, I'm a serial entrepreneur and startup geek. More than 25 past 25 years experiment in this field. It came from the digital marketing sides, and buying and selling to the biggest digital agency in Hungary. Working a lot of startups, organized more than 15 hackathons event in Europe. And 2012, that was a point when I got some questions from 8 or 9 female founders to let's just speak about that, some kind of to do some coffee mentoring for about her ideas, and that was a point I'm thinking about, that it's maybe the coffee is too much for the heart attack. So I decided to let's keep the event, and I invite some of my friends from angel investor part, some of the accelerator owners, and some of the startups who create some successful startups in the past. And give some advice to the female founders, to the ladies, to how can we do that. And when we sitting there and we deciding to we speak a lot, but we are listening to the lot for the teams, but let's meet something goals about that, to ladies, stand up, please stand up to the stage and pitch your idea after our mentoring. That was the first women startup competition. Actually, we just promoting to some places, and I was very surprised when some teams came in from Croatia, Austria and other countries coming to our event, because that was the first women startup event in especially for the startups. So and after that we growing and now this is I'm very happy this is the first time in Southeast Asia.
Yes.
That is very exciting. So
yeah, it's interesting. And women, why is it different? I always wanted to ask you this question, like why do women need more support, or do they need more support for a startup competition?
Actually, when we starting to this movement, that was the very strange situation in the market. A lot of tech startups coming to the startup scenes, developers, mobile developers, application developers. It's coming to the stage, and when one or two female founders standing to their idea, the jury it's looking around, and I said it's okay. We didn't understand. We not understand what do you do, but it's what you ask. It's too small. Just we put together into the
Are we too shy?
break.
Too nice for business?
And but the idea was actually was great. A lot of time the female part or ladies coming to the very new ideas into the market, especially not into the what is important for the woman's side, but not on the woman's side. Sometimes it's very useful for the men's side too. And actually, what we do is we don't want to separate to the female and the male parts. We love to create the gender diverse startups. That is our goals, and it happens sometimes. For example, in Austria, there was a team who or ambassador called me to, okay, there is a startups who has 3 guys and they hire 3 women to participating to the women's startup competition, and that is it a problem, or what do we do? And I said that's okay, that is the goal, because it's more creative way to create some gender diverse startups. And the first stage is gender diversity, of course, but absolutely important to after that the age is some kind of ethnics or geolocation startup. So it's I think it's very important part of that. Understand that is the first step, and when we I don't know, it's maybe when we was after the third or fourth even series. Actually, we organized the 8 series at the moment. We try to measure the results, and we was very surprised when we see the startups who has a female founders or female members. It's much more effective way to be a success, because of the jury is more in the stages. They work much more better solution in the I don't know why. Maybe the investor part is 90% of the jury is coming from the men's side. I don't know, but actually it's now it's changed, because for example 2 weeks ago I was in San Francisco to start the World Cup final, and there was a 6 jury member. All of them came from the women's side to woman angel investors, and of course the winners. It's related to the woman products. So it's much more effective way than one part of in the stage and to the that startup who has a female founders or owners. And the other side, it's when we speaking about that, how can they access to the goals? It's much more trustable I find some results from the biggest U.S. investors, and they said it's the last 10 years the women and gender diverse startups access their goals. It's 65% better chance like men startup. So it's if you are an investor, that is the very huge risk reduction effects and figures. So that's why it's more and more investors ask to the startups looking for the gender diverse and female and women startups.
I really love the point that you mentioned, that it's not really like 100% women, because that's the story also of the Empowerment Hub. When we started, it was Global Women Online Entrepreneur or Global Women Online Summit. But then in the first year, we already took out the women, because we don't want to differentiate. We don't want to cut out or leave out people from the conversation, because we need the men to tell us those things that we don't know, and the women also need to see the other side. So it's the same in the startup world, I guess. Men can give different skills, even different people. It's not even gender way. Like some women are really like going for it, and they could be on the other side. But I think it's to show the diversity, which brings out the more resources, the more variety. The idea is more new, and there's a creativity behind it, right?
Absolutely. It's totally new ideas coming to the market, and that is some kinds of. There are some so big unfair advantages from the women's side. It's because they handle it working with every day, and there is no solution for men's side too. Actually, there is some other things what I love to working with gender diverse startups, for example, in IT sectors. There was a company who we have 100 developers into the company. That was 100. It came from the man's side, and it's coming to two project management, woman project manager, and it's changed to everything. The developers, it's the first thing. Developers, it's every day it's shower themselves, so it's much more better environment was in the developer rooms, but it's try to working together and try to the connection and the networking. It was much more better, and I feel it in the same way in women's startup competition. There was a situation in when we creating to the final in London. One of the leader mentors came to me and said, it's okay, it's Tamas, is it right to the London startups creating to the Hungarian startup slogans, because this is the competition or not? And I said I'm very happy to do that, because it's not a competition. It's maybe it's a networking or some kind of movement to help each other. If we help each other to move forward, and what we see, that successful startups and successful female founders will be the next generation of female investors. So that's why it's so important to help each other, because that is a good way to came back into the future to some kind of helpness or some what we could give back to the market.
Okay, so yes, it's actually something that you are also, as a man, standing up for other women or standing up for women, which is also very rare, and I really appreciate that. But I think the other thing that can be interesting and also a little bit more practical, because I like to give some practical advices to people. I remember when we are doing the mentoring, because we are already mentoring the women startups who are going to pitch tomorrow. They're 2 minute speeches, and then also the 4 minutes Q&As about what they have to be aware of or what they have to look out for when they are preparing for pitching. So could you summarize that very quickly so that those who didn't apply yet, maybe they will apply next year if they know already these tips?
Okay. Actually, I can speak a lot of time about it, but I try to summarize. I think it's very important to creating some story behind to the startups, to why is related to the founders, what is the passion in behind that, why jury believe it, to you are the next startups who is really doing these things. It's very important to show them, and also it's the practically, if we're speaking about the pitch deck and presentation content, it's coming from it's starting to the problem. Speak about the problem. What is the problem? What you solve? After that, what is your solution? What is your business model? What is your market? And when you're speaking about the market, I'm not curious about the how million people suffering in this problem, but maybe using some practically solution for every 4 people has this problem or related to this problem. So it's much more easier to understand it. And also if you have some patent or some kind of technical advantages, just write it into the presentation. Also important, what is your marketing strategy? Because when you create the web shop, it doesn't work immediately. You have to spread it to promote that, and sometimes to the promotion elements or marketing strategy is the unique point of your startups, and sometimes that's why the investor is it's interesting for that. And also important, maybe it's speaking about the money. What do you need? And that's very important to know exactly what do you want to ask, because it's how much money do you need, because it's doesn't work if the investor asks it's how much money do you need, and you said it's I find some startups it's okay, maybe it's we would like to $100,000 or $150,000. Investor always choosing to the smallest amount, because it's that's why. And also important to know what do you want to, why is how can we use it to this investment if you got it. If I suggest it to it's you do not use to this, okay, this I've got an investment, I'm using to 100% of the investment to advertise my product, because it's not a good way. And also important, what I forget it, speaking about the team. Is there a team or not? Because it's you have to showing to the first followers who also believe in your startup. That is your teams, and also showing to the skills of the teams, because it's very important. If you are creating to them mobile application solution, maybe it's useful to you have some mobile developers or UX designers or somebody who can help you to create a final product. One thing what I forgot it, to the competitors. You have to speak about the competitors. Who is that? Who will be? Maybe sometimes it's not exactly the competitor not exactly create the same things what you do, but it's very easy to changing to their methods to be your competitor. So it's you have to check it. Who is that? You have to understand what they do, what is the good elements of that or not, and what is your advantages from them. So that is what's also important. Yeah, it's short things. I think it's that.
Short things, but how do you do this in 2 minutes? I just listed it down and I'm writing it in the comments, but you were talking already about it. And how can someone pitch in 2 minutes?
2 minutes, it's more than enough for that. You think it's if you have a it's my daughter here. So it's so it's 2 minutes more than enough for that. If you can speak about the investors, for example, and you meet in the first time, you have to summarize your pitches into the you have to create to the essence of your startups. So that's why it's 2 minutes is more than enough.
Okay, so let's see. I'm hoping that they will be able to bear with the 2 minutes and they can summarize all these what we wrote down. So guys, I wrote a little bit of note for you in the chat. Hello, szia! Egy kis magyar szó, sziasztok! A little bit of Hungarian with a little baby. Szia! Ilyen a mai világban. The today's word is like this. The babies can come crawl in and crawl out.
Actually, they get a flu in the kindergarten. That's why she is helping me to doing the homework. That's why she asked me to my iPods. Yeah.
I see. She's your assistant. So cute. Yeah. So guys, I summarize what Tamas told us. So startup pitch tips and necessities. You have your story ready, your problem, what you solve, your solution, what you have for others, your market, your competitors, your IP or patents or any skills that you own, your marketing strategy, the money you ask for, your team and their skills and their abilities, which will also make your pitch more valuable. So guys, try to put this together, and maybe I will ask Tamas to come back for a practice next year, and all of you will be prepared for a pre-preaching competition kind of thing where you can already try it out. How is it for startups to pitch for 2 minutes and then stand there and get 4 minutes questions and be able to answer all that? So it's kind of a tough thing, right, to do this for the first time, right? So what was your experience with the competitors? Were they already good? Or?
Yeah, I think that it's the first time was very, very hard to, but that's why is mentoring working to create some practicing in one-to-one pitching, and if you tell 100 times to the pitch, it's much more easier. Some kind of problem within the stage, but in online it's much more easier. I think that.
Yeah, and you practice it with the friends, with the family, with everyone around, and then the more unfamiliar the person it is, the better, I guess, because then you are not getting favors and nice comments, but you are getting into the hard part of it, right? What else would you say for people, as a last question, who are wanting to get money, who have some idea but don't know where to turn to? I know that you have a very good platform that we didn't talk about yet. So what is basically the step that people can already do to get familiar with this world before they just get out there and try a competition?
Yeah, I think it's this year is this year is the second. Just a minute. This year is the second year for what when we use the background platform Posi.io. Before that, I've tried tons of other solution for startup, but every community was closed, and I think it's a very important what I mentioned before to the networking element. So, and Posi can bring me to that opportunity to if you register it to the okay, it's here. If you register it to the startups, after that you can find the other guys into the in your in the platform at Posi.io platform. You can invite some team member, you can find some partner, you can show who will be your competitors. That is very effective way to how can you solve it. And also very important part if you are what is investor looking for the your one pager, and you can very easy way to create your one pager with Posi.io.
We're already showing a little bit like how it looks, and trying to just to figure like how people can imagine this platform looks like. But actually, I think it's very important to try it out, to go there, and even if you don't pitch your full pitch yet, or you don't put up your pitch deck, you can also post ideas, which I find very nice on this platform, that you can only go with an idea, and then after that it can develop with the help of the community into something bigger, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also very important part of what I mentioned to you, there is some comment and rating section, and it is work really. When I upload to my idea or startups, the comments is coming from other startuppers, other mentors to okay, what is not clear, what is very good idea, how can we improve that, how can we incorporate each other. So it's a very effective way to improve your one pager or idea. Before you can invest into that, it's a lot of money. So it's very effective way to evaluate your startups. So that's why I think it's very good to and also it's free. So it's a very good benefits of that free open platform for startups, mentors, and also there is some event organizer and competition organizer who give some other opportunity to go to US or other market. For example, there is a blockchain conference in Berlin, that is the next hackathon event what we participating or also. So I think it's a very effective way to see the story in the background and get that is a community where you can find your next partner, next next co-founder, for example. So that's and when we starting that was the idea to create some kind of group where we access to the alumni, because it's we very disappointed about that there was some hackathons for the big companies to organize, and there was some I don't know 5,000 registered startups into the event, and they promoting to the first 3, and what happens to the other 4,997? So nobody know that. So
yeah. I have to stop you, Tamas, because my other studio has to be open.
Yeah.
But I really love the conversation. I really love to be with you here, and I'm so excited for tomorrow, guys. You have to tune in tomorrow, 4 p.m. We will have this live pitching in a Zoom room. You have already the connection, the details in the calendar. So please tune in, and you will see it also live. Thank you so much, Tamas, for the interview. I have to get out of the studio and jump into another talk. And I will see you very soon at the mentoring at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye-bye.